Being in an abusive relationship is like living inside a storm you can't escape. Now, I make a lot of videos about the what's and the hows of abusive relationships around like tools narcissists use, behaviors like gaslighting, etc. But what I wanted to do is make this video around what it actually feels like to be in an abusive relationship so that people who don't know can get a bit of an understanding around it, and people who do know, maybe can connect with something, see that they're not alone, and have something to refer back to. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to talk about how it actually feels in parts to be in an abusive relationship. So yeah, let's jump into it. So first important thing to note is that, in a typical abusive relationship, it starts off this kind of fantastic, love bombing phase where everything's passionate and fast and quick, and it seems like your dreams have come true. And that almost sets up how you're going to feel later, because it starts off so strong that then when the cracks start to show, it's very confusing, it's very disorienting, and when you look back at the end of it, you realize what a lie it all was. So again, with abusive relationships, it's not always just physical. Emotional is just as bad, if not worse. So things happen in that relationship, like because you're getting gaslit and you start doubting yourself, you're questioning your own mind all the time. You're thinking, is it me? Is this right? Am I seeing things in the right way? Add to that then, when you're being isolated and you don't have friends and family, what ends up happening is you're left with one voice in your life that you can actually listen to, and that's your abuser's voice. So you doubt your own voice, you don't have friends and family around, you're very lonely, very isolated, very, very, very confused, because the only person you can listen to is the person who's doing these things to you and telling you that you're at fault. And as all this goes on, you start really believing all these lies, things like you're too sensitive, or you did this, or you did that. You really start believing that. So your feeling of self-worth and your feeling about yourself just keeps plummeting. You doubt yourself, you feel worse about yourself, you think of yourself as a terrible person. All the things you should be thinking about them as an abuser, you start thinking about yourself. So now you're lonely, you're isolated, you're questioning your own reality, and you're thinking of yourself as a terrible person. So it's just this constant negative feeling around your own self instead of them. Then you add into that the fear. It could be fear of physical harm, but also fear of being left, fear of people finding out about it. I can tell you as a guy, it's that real fear of like humiliation, of embarrassment, that you think, oh, people are going to find out I'm a guy being abused. But, similar for everyone, that there's that fear of people finding out. What are people going to think? What are people going to say? You feel so rubbish about yourself that are they going to think it's you because you're such a rubbish person, you're so terrible, you're not sure if your reality is right. These things just compound and compound. It's like a snowball effect of all adding up. Then while all this is going on in terms of, the way you're feeling about yourself, the fear, the doubts, etc., there's another feeling there that's, probably worse to deal with, is this feeling of kind of love and hope, where you're like, oh, I love this person, I'm sure they're going to change, they apologize to me, maybe it'll get better. There's that feeling as well. And even though only far down the line do you realize, well, there was never love and it was never, real, in that moment, you're feeling like you're trying to pull that person back because you want them, you don't want them to discard you. You really hope they're going to change, and if you can just sort yourself out because they've made you believe it's you, that maybe things will happen. So it's this combination of doubt, loneliness, fear, love. It's this melting pot of like terribleness, all designed to destroy you. To summarize, I'd say it's like being in an abusive relationship is like losing a little piece of yourself day by day. That bits get chipped away, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you just don't recognize the person that you used to be, because every day something just gets broken away, broken away, broken away. And now the thing is, a lot of people don't get, and a lot of people, don't believe when they get out of an abusive relationship, is you can rebuild yourself. There will be cracks, and that's fine, but you can rebuild yourself. You can get the things you deserve. You can have a happy life. You can heal. You can find real love. It takes time. It takes work. Reach out to people for help. Read books on the subject. Watch YouTube videos on the subject. Go to therapy. Go to counseling. But you can get help for that. It's horrific when you're in it, and it's really hard when you're out of it, but it can get better. So, yeah, look, I hope that gives you a little bit of a view of what that can be like. But yeah, as always, please learn and stay safe.